How's it going, guys? So, I'm going to be doing videos a little bit different again. I'm going to do a lot of talking during the video and while I'm doing stuff, trying to keep updates to the forging parts. So that's changing, so I'll update you guys on some stuff. I was going to make that hook. Ran into a couple little complications. I was doing stuff wrong. So I am noticing I'm having issues poking the fire and getting it stirred up the way I want and moving coals around. So this video is going to be a fire poker. Very simple fire poker, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is use the rounding side of my hammer. And I'll go ahead and do it right here on the horn. Start forging it into a square, that way I can start doing a nice taper. And I do have some interesting stuff coming in that'll be really nice in the future. Some of which I already talked about, but I did get some stuff ordered, so that'll be nice. Oop. The one thing that's nice about using a coal fire is, if you could tell, right when I brought it out, I only had this section hot. With a coal fire, you can actually adjust it through the fire to get where you want your heat at. So it's a really nice reason to use coal. Now, one of the things you could do if you wanted is work this to a round eventually for a round tip poker. I actually like the square tip myself, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a decent point. Alright, now I think I'm going to go ahead and bend this, and this is going to be like a hook piece, and then I'm going to draw the other part out into an actual point, so I'll be able to hook and drag stuff, stir the coals a little bit better. And then, after we get that part done, we'll go ahead and get to the handle part. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and go to this round part. Use the flat side of my hammer. Let's give this a really sharp bend there. Go ahead and bring it to this side. Bend that over. And I'm going to go ahead and take this little piece here, try to open that up just a little bit, which I don't think is going to work. So there we go, that part worked. Alright, now I'll use the Pritchel hole here. There. Well, I think I'm going to get a little ambitious. I think I'm going to see if I can forge weld that. So I'm going to go ahead and let this soak on the top of the flame, make sure it gets nice, deep, and red hot. And then I'll bury it in a little bit more coal to make sure it's fuel rich. And I'm going to put a little bit of flux on that, and I'm going to see if I can forge weld that. That'd be really cool. Alright, I'm very big on use what you got. So I don't have a spoon or anything down here. I'm going to have to make one eventually. So I just got a pair of wire clippers. Just put a little bit of that on there. It looks like it's seeping right down in there. So hopefully I'm going to go ahead and bury that in some coal. See what happens. Alright, let's see what happens here, because I'm getting close. I'm trying to make sure it's down deep enough, but it's not down too deep. Because if you see sparks, it's too hot, or too much air, or you're starting to burn. It all depends. So alright, here we go. Back in the heat. Now when I hit it before, it seemed like it had like a different kind of a thud sound, so I wonder if that means I did it right. This thing gets hot really fast now that the way I'm adjusting the air works pretty well. Alright, let's see. Huh. Alright. A little bit more flux on there. I'll do her one more time. Looks like that tip piece I did ended up pretty good. Yeah, looks like a decent amount of it stuck. So yeah, there we go. I mean, it wasn't a lot. It was a little bit, but now the one thing I see a lot of people say is really important is now that forge weld that, I need to forge it at welding heat so it's less likely to break that bond there. So I'm going to go ahead and start forging a tip there, and then we'll cool it off and work on the handle. So you guys missed a couple short heats. That was my bad. I was a little excited about that forge weld looking like it worked well. So essentially what I was doing is just drawing out this point. And then one thing that's always nice about an anvil, if it's got all this kind of, you got the Pritchell hole, the Hardy hole, and then I'm assuming this is just a bigger Pritchell hole. All these different things, like use them to your advantage. Like there's this loop right here. I can actually hook that hook and draw it out, and I'm aiming for the width of my anvil. And now I'm just cleaning it up while it's cold. But first it gives me something hard to hold on to. It gives me a solid base, and then I can use it as a measuring tool as well. Try to make your anvil work for you instead of against you. But yeah, I mean, doesn't seem to be splitting. And I like that look right there. Sometimes it's not always function for me. Sometimes something's got to look really nice. And it seems pretty straight. I'm just going to work on that tip a little bit more. Then I'm going to let this air cool for a bit, and then we'll come back and do the handle. Alright guys, due to trying to keep the videos kind of short, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. That's a good tip shape for a basic fire poker. For something like a fireplace or whatnot, you definitely want a lot bigger one. I mean, or if you got a really big forge. This little one, I mean, I've been using a little crowbar, so I kind of looked at that as my measuring tool. So you really got to look at what your purpose for it is. I wouldn't use this on like a home wood stove. You'd be getting your hand too close. But as for my forge, it's perfect. So that was a successful mini forge weld. I wouldn't say that it's something crazier to throw a big party over, but seemed to work really well. I did pry on it a little bit more off camera. It went maybe an 1/16 of an inch up that where that line was at, and it stopped. That line is just where the forge weld, the outside of the forge weld still is. I'll probably file that away, but you'll see that on the next video where I finish up the handle and then get thing cleaned up, maybe put a coat of oil on it or something just to keep it from rusting. So please like, share, subscribe. If you like the video shorter now, because that's been the biggest thing, sweet, thanks, let me know. I've been trying to do a little bit faster. So alright, thanks a lot for watching guys, and let me know if you liked it.